Trade, security, revenue. How does the Nigeria Customs Service balance all? Find out every Tuesday in the evening on Customs Duty, your ultimate guide to customs operations, trade facilitation, and national security. Join us as we break down customs policies, answer your questions, and bring you exclusive insights on customs operations. Stay informed, stay ahead. Customs Duty, every Tuesday at 6:30 in the evening, only on TVC.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking.
Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iori Folani. A couple of subject matters this morning. Let's start with the first. Maybe, I don't know, have you heard very much about corruption in recent times? There are those who are saying that, you know, it seems to be cyclical, seasonal. We've not heard about corruption very much in terms of, you know, I don't know how you feel about that. But let's look at corruption, especially as in the oil sector. We've not heard about that. This morning, you know, maybe you saw it yourself. There's an update. EFCC, it is reported, you know, EFCC arrests ex-NNPC top official and others over an alleged $7.2 billion refineries maintenance, you know, fraud. Okay, that just goes to show that, we've been a bit quiet, perhaps, arguably, on matters of corruption. We want to look at corruption generally and fighting it within the oil sector. And our guest is a regular on the station, Honorable Ehizua J. Agbonaima. He's a former member of the House of Representatives and currently a Federal Commissioner, Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB. Good morning to you, Honorable.
Good morning, my brother. Nice seeing you. Wonderful edifice you have here, man.
Thank you.
I was sure when I came in here, I said, wow.
Okay, because you've always
been as if I was in America, CNN.
You know,
wow.
It's because you've always. Thank you very, very much. Because you've been
good
joining
morning
us
to our
remotely.
viewers.
Indeed.
Out there. God bless you.
Indeed. So here we are, Honorable, you know, Agbonaima. First of all, when I said that we might not have heard as much of corruption as we have heard in the recent past, is that because there are no incidents to investigate, or do you disagree entirely with the statement?
Well, I disagree totally. I must disagree with that, you know, because Code of Conduct Bureau, EFCC, ICPC, they have been doing a very wonderful job. But unfortunately, the media also have to do what I call investigative journalism. They try to help. Because you are the fourth realm of the government, and you have a role to play, huge role to play in helping to put Nigeria in the right perspective. Okay. Because corruption has eaten us deeply. It is a cancer. It's mind-boggling. I tell you the truth. It is not something that we can say, you have not been hearing. It is because of the fact that when you fight corruption, corruption fight back. So they spend more money to cover the mess because they have stolen a lot.
I mean, just the figure of $7.2 billion that is quoted as maybe funds that were earmarked for refineries maintenance. It's now been turned into a maintenance, a fraud actually. And I think before we came on air, you were also talking about some privileged access that you had as a result of your past connections, both in the U.S. and in the House of Representatives, that have given you special insights.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Fighting corruption is going to involve collective effort of every patriotic Nigerians. is everybody's business.
So you are saying that effectively it is not as if it is going down, not at all.
No, it is not. As a matter of fact, I want to thank the Senate President and Mr. President as well, and the chairman of the ad hoc committee on the ECCN crude oil theft that was established and constituted by the Senate President, distinguished Senator, Godswill Akpabio, for being able to come out again that this issue of crude oil theft must be dealt with once and for all. And when I was approached, mine was, I asked a question. I said, Mr. Senate President, sir, I'm sorry. I don't want a situation when we start. Maybe somebody have to come and say, oh, let's calm down a little. He said, no, we need to fight it. That was all I needed, himself and Senator Ned Nwoko, who is the chairman of that committee. And when I was in the House, I moved a motion about this undeclared crude oil theft. When I received intelligence, I was able to get an intel. And I approached the former Speaker, Dogara, a wonderful guy. I told him about this undeclared crude oil. It was the former president Jonathan, who, in his own wisdom, said that this should be investigated. And to the greatest surprise, he said nobody should investigate Obasanjo's regime, investigate my own regime. And this was initiated by, I must say, I have to give credit to those that were involved in this saga that helped to get to where we are. That was Tom Polo, who said that, Mr. President, they are saying that it's militants that they want taking all the crude oil. That is not correct. It is the multinational company, the IOCs, along with our local content companies, our brothers and sisters, that have connived to defraud you and I. So, and that was why they set up a committee through NIMASA. NIMASA, through federal government, engaged Molecular Power System. Molecular Power System is a Nigerian company who now engaged a foreign firm called Lomos out of the United States to be able to have a ways and means of tracking every vessel leaving the Nigerian waterways through their mapping, satellite mapping system. And they were able to do that. And they investigated 51 countries. But out of the 51 countries, only 41 that was successful. That to the United States alone, I'm talking about 2011 and 2014, what led Nigeria to global destination, to the United States alone, through Port of Houston and Port of Lake Charles, it was 391 million barrels, undeclared for. So we invited NNPC. After the U.S. Custom have given us comprehensive details what landed in the United States.
From Nigeria.
From Nigeria. NNPC came, they brought Ghana must go bags everywhere.
Of documents.
Of documents. And we looked at everything. And my brother, do you know, there was nothing in their own record that any crude oil left Nigeria. If nothing left Nigeria, how did the United States Custom been able to tell us and give us a report that was conducted that this is what landed in the United States? 391 million barrels.
391 million barrels.
Plus.
But as far as the people in Nigeria were reporting to you,
nothing left Nigeria.
Nothing left Nigeria.
No. But do you know, sometimes you have to take risk because we are going to die one day, for God's sake. I got a lot of threats. One of the MD of NPDC came to my office. He said, no, Mr. Honorable, you have family, your mother is still alive. I don't know how they got to know that my mother was still alive. My mother used to call me, my son, leave this matter. You are not the one that can solve the problem of this country about corruption. I was doing a lot of trade, but that didn't stop me. And see, when you have support base, Dogara said, EJ, we are behind you. But it was God that made it possible, because where we are today in this country, Nigeria is not broke. We are the one that broke Nigeria's leg. We have everything. God has blessed this country with everything. Mineral resources, natural resources, even human capacity. But we have decided to take Nigeria to cleaner.
So this is information that you actually have, verifiable that you have. Now, the question, of course, is that what was done with that information? Since
let me take you back.
Okay.
When we moved this motion, when it was constituted, and I moved the motion, and they had to set up a committee, we investigated. The one that caught my eyes that I was very particular about was the fact that NNPC themselves, NNPC gave us an information. This is a submission, not knowing that we've done our homework. In the 2011, because if you don't know where you are coming from, you never know where you are going. In 2011, NNPC said they declared 301,770,059 barrels. 2011, that's what they declared. That, as at that time, average rate was $111.90. It was sold at the barrel. Our expected receipt, expected fund after selling is supposed to be $33,768,069,602 billion. That is what was receipted. Now, 2012, they said they declared 296,480,785 barrels. Now, what is our expectation? What are we expecting? The federal government, Nigerians, their money expected 33,208,812,727 billions. 2013, they said
that is from the sale. You're talking about from the sale of crude. From the
this
sale of Nigeria.
This is their declaration. What they declared that this is what they got in each year.
Okay, I get you.
2013, 267,120,559 barracks. What are our expectations? What are we expecting after sales? 29 billion. I'm talking about dollars now, not naira. 29,415,315,957 dollars. 2014, this is what they said. This is their own submission.
Yes.
Not our making, then. 270 million barrels. That is 270,719,119 barrels. What were we supposed to get in return, Nigerians? That is 27 billion. 588,985,417 dollars. Billions of dollars. This is the shocker. We call Central Bank. Can you tell us how much was transferred from NNPC to Federation account? Give us what you received. This is Central Bank submission. CBA confirmation receipt. 2011, they received 14,345,650,183 billion dollars. That's what they received.
That's what the Central Bank received.
Against 33,768,069,602 dollars. So they've shortchanged Nigerians. Now go to 2012. What is CBN received? 184,830,742 dollars. Billions against their own submission, NNPC, that our money due to Federation is 33,208,812,722. You go to 2013, CBN confirmation, 8,408,879,539 billions of dollars. That's what the CBN confirmed. You go further to 2014, 9,810,551,946 dollars. Now, the question posed to both CBN and NNPC was then, even though they are not calling themselves NNPCL, which is another issue. I don't know those who invested, why they now try to call themselves whether they are private or government entity. Now, when you look at the difference between the total amount from 2011 to 2014, the total receipted 123 billion 981 million 183,703 dollars, as against 42 billion receipted by CBN, 749 million 912,410. So the difference now, when you minus 42.7 out of 123.9 billion, what you get is 81 billion 231 million 271,293 dollars. So the question as at 2011, 12, 13, 14,
That's over 10 years ago.
we were asking, where did 81 billions of dollars belonging to Nigerian people go?
Where did it go?
Where did it go? The question is this, and it will not end, because this country belongs to all of us.
Now, when
It belongs to all of us.
You said when they came, you said when NNPC came, they were not aware that you had done your
No,
homework.
they didn't. Why should they be aware?
Now, when they had now made their presentation, and you were able to say, fine, thank you very much.
Not just only me.
Yes.
But I moved the motion because I have the details.
Okay. But were they confronted with these details?
Of course.
And did they have anything to say for themselves?
What do they have to say? What can they say? What they declare, because the company that the federal government engaged, I must commend the former President Jonathan. The company they engaged, Lumos out of the United States, is one of the best companies in this world. They were able to track everything. Today, do you know, by the grace of God, the Senate, in their own wisdom, they have swung into action. That some of the the company they are working with now to track where all these monies are, where money were paid, transferred to Citibank, West Fargo, Standard Chartered Bank, Citibank, Bank of America, all the various banks. Our money is all over the world. That is another question that needs millions of answers.
This information that you are sharing, does it go back to your time in the House of Reps or when you had left and had become a commissioner in the Code of Conduct Bureau?
This happened when I was in the House of Reps.
Okay.
And as I'm talking to you, with what I have discovered, what I've been able to discover, talking to the same company that tracked these 41 countries, not just only America, up to Ghana here, up to Ghana, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Canada, Italy. I'm talking about 41 good countries. There's not enough time to give you all this. I will give you, but you all need to support this investigation being conducted by the Senate, because until we act, if there are no consequences, if there are no repercussions, Nigerians needs to wake up. We must wake up to support the government and the Senate. For this initiative they have decided to embark on, we must do everything humanly possible to support them. I am giving them all my support, and by the grace of God, justice will prevail. Yes, the EFCC is talking about 7.9, 7.2 billion.
Yes.
That is nothing compared to what?
Not compared to the figures that you've given.
You just heard last week, public account. headed the committee chairman, Right Honorable Senator Wadada, who asked the NNPC, the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, to explain where did this 210 trillion, where did it go?
Let me bring in somebody who has called in. Good morning, Mr. Joshua in Irewolede. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Thank you very much.
I greet you, and I want to greet your guest and to really, really appreciate this man. I think today is a day like this that the Federal Republic of Nigeria should be in a state of mourning. You know, this declaration, these things we are hearing, of course I know they've been there. But now that we have people that put facts to figure and to tell us exactly what has been going on, you know, we know why we are here. Nigeria has no business being hungry. Nigeria has no business being in this state of abject poverty. We know it. But what has been happening to us, I think, is beginning to come out. Now, I will just appreciate you. You, in particular, Okuyori, you will continue to be blessed. And your generations will continue to be favored. Because you have made your platform a place where truth can be spoken to power, where people can come and say what they know is the state of Nigeria. And we can take responsibility for what is going on. The president of Nigeria, wherever he is, should listen to this program and be able to connect and talk back to us as Nigerians. I love the fact that the president we have now understands figures. When I was supporting this man to be president, a lot of people didn't know what I was saying. He's an accountant. He's somebody who understands figures. This is the first time we have somebody who can put pen to paper, who can read the reports and say, okay, this is that. The president is hearing what is going on. He knows it very well. And he's a man who is working on reforms. We need to reform Nigeria. This country can be salvaged out of the situation we have found ourselves. Imagine if this money that is missing, if it had been plunged into agriculture, and we have mechanized farming, and we have food security, we have everything. Yeah. The only thing I want to tell the honorable there, you should not be afraid of anyone. You know, truth cannot be fought against. And anyone that fights against truth will be defeated. Because truth is self-evident. I want to tell him that he should not allow himself to be intimidated. He should stand and stand very strongly. His generations will be blessed for what they are doing. They should tell these people who are doing this, they are wicked. And I will tell you, we are sorry, these people that are doing these things are very ignorant. They don't know what they are doing. They are losing all this money. Consider all these billions of dollars. Who will use the money? Where do they want to invest it? They are merely just throwing the money away.
Yeah. Well, money that is sorely needed. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua, for calling in. You know, as I said, Honorable EJ, this is mind-boggling. You know, this is mind-boggling. But for all of that, it does go back more than 10 years. So in the meantime, until we began to hear what you called chicken feed here of $7.2 billion.
That's chicken feed to them.
Yes. Until this, we just didn't know the extent of what was going on. Am I being told to go to break? I'm not. Okay. I'm going to come back to you because again, I can hear the phones. There's bedlam. So stay with us, please. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
In tourism, let us commit again at the Travel Indaba as Africans to build an inclusive, sustainable and a resilient sector. One that lifts up our communities, that bridge borders and protects our shared heritage in the continent.
It's a pan-African travel show which brings the world to us, but mostly Africans to actually have B2B meetings or business-to-business meetings with other African SMMEs or tour operators, and the value chain of tourism is highly impacted during this period because we get to sign deals, you get to explore our destinations, besides just having meetings.
Okay, welcome back. And our guest is Honorable E.J. Agboniima. He's a Federal Commissioner, Code of Conduct Bureau. And before that, he was in the House of Representatives. And he's really been, as it were, spilling stuff that most Nigerians, as our caller, from Iriwolide, Mr. Joshua had said, they knew something was funny, but they never had this idea, concrete facts and figures. Now, the question I want to hastily add now is that, Honorable EJ, this goes back to, what, we're in 2025 now, 2014, 2011, 12, 13, 14. Has it stopped or is it still ongoing?
It's even getting worse.
The stealing?
Yeah.
When you arrived at trillions of naira, it's getting worse.
Unfortunately, we are quick to assume or speculate. The president is the Minister of Petroleum.
That's right.
Let me say this. With the little knowledge that I have, I feel pain when you start pointing the finger at the wrong people. NNPC, they are their own government.
But that was supposed to have been broken now by their now being
privatized. Broken by what? That they changed the name.
The status has changed now.
Hold on, they changed the name from NNPC to NNPC LL. That's NNPC Limited. Is that what has changed?
Well,
NNPC, because they changed their names? Look, let's call a spade a spade. This business, this issue we are talking about, is a serious issue. Every Nigerian should support the investigation, support EFCC's investigation on this issue, support ICPC, support Code of Conduct Bureau on this particular investigation, support the Senate Committee on crude oil theft that they are doing that. That's why I said, for the Senate President.
How are you speaking like this? Every Nigerian, every ordinary Nigerian is supporting those organizations that will, bring to light.
Let me tell you, we can just say, yes, for 1 week, yeah, we supported. Okay. All I'm talking about, we must be consistent. Because these people have stolen so much, they have enough money to buy.
No wonder you were saying that a lot depends also on the press.
The press have to stand
and help disseminate this information. Okay, Mr. Yakub, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for calling in. Mr. Yakub, go ahead right now, please.
Yeah, good morning, Chief Jody.
Thank you for calling in. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
If you can hear me, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chief Jody. And good morning to your guests.
Yes.
Thank you.
Even though you have keeping me waiting for long. Chief Jody,
apologies.
I think the Honorable has been on this issue for a while because I could remember last time he came to this studio and then he trashed it up, trashed it on and all that. I want to know, my question to him is this. I want to know where is stage that he is now, because he cannot fight this thing alone. As he rightly said earlier, these people have already stole a lot of money to themselves. They have a lot of arsenal to fight whoever wants to expose them. That is number one. Number two, before I forget, Mr. Joshua from Iriwolide said something earlier, and then he prayed for you, Chief Yori, and then I so support that prayer, and then so shall it be, because this is only station. Chief Yori, I always say this. This is only station that even ordinary citizen like I have opportunity to talk my mind, even though for the fact that we support the government. That does not necessarily mean that when the government does not do the right thing, we will not talk our mind.
But
I'm saying that,
you always say that.
I want to throw another question to Honorable there, because it is a former Honorable in the House, Whoever throw one kind of a bill that says that play bargaining should be in our constitution, I don't think that person do us a favor. You know why? Why? Because even though these guys stolen a lot, at the end of the day, all this wahala that Honorable is doing, by the time they caught up with these guys, they will not go to the court, and then they say they play bargaining, and then half of the money they were stolen will go back to them, and then they will release the remaining one to the government.
From plea bargaining. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Yakub, for calling in.
You know what you just said?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, caller. Do you know that? Do you know some of these companies were taken to court in this country? The former president, Jonathan, engaged a lawyer out of the United States, Anthony Jerome, a well-renowned lawyer. He came to Nigeria, but you will not believe that the Nigerian lawyers, our own brothers and sisters that was also engaged, they connived with the IOC, International Oil Company. We had a meeting with DPRO in Lagos here, with all the IOCs and some of the Nigerian local content businessmen and women. My dear, my brother, what I saw, what is going on in this country, is unfortunate. The Nigerians that connive with the IOC, today, the lawyer from America said he's not coming back here again. The only way we can have a headway is to take the litigation to the United States. Because most of these companies are foreign companies. Most of them are based in the United States. So that is the only way we can get them to return back. He was almost crying that the money stolen from Nigeria should be returned back to this country.
So you are saying that our people, when this legal personality came in here, our people were actually working against
Nigeria,
against our recovery.
Against our recovery, they connived. That's why up to now the case is still in court.
That was
Since
why.
Then, have we gotten
this
anywhere?
is over 10 years ago.
Yes.
So this matter, nothing has happened to move it forward simply because of all this sabotage.
When you have somebody that have the will, the commitment, at least that's why I have to appreciate the Senate President, that is Senator Godswill Akpabio, and Senator Ned Nwoko and his committee. They are doing
for bringing it back center stage
to life. So this thing will see the light of day.
Okay.
And I want to thank Mr. President because I asked, are you sure that we can go on? Because I don't want to waste my time anymore. He said, look,
yes,
Mr. President is behind this investigation. We must see, we must investigate this thing to the latter. And we must get Nigerians' money stolen.
We must get it back.
We must get it back. And getting it back is going to be tough.
It is.
It's not easy. If all of us together work as a team.
Because you're talking about billions there.
Let me tell you what happened. DPRO, there was a lady, I'm not going to mention her name. You know, we still have some good Nigerians in this country. A wonderful woman from DPRO, even though they have changed their name now, I don't want to mention their name. I'm going to mention the name that I know them to be. Are you with me? The changes that we have done, has it brought us back to where we ought to be? Has it given Nigeria? Has it placed Nigeria? Has it changed NNPC from their dubious mean? Indebtedness. NPDC is under cartel. NPDC. They were owing.
NPDC is the.
They have changed their name now to NUP, you know, whatever they call it. I know the name. I don't want to mention the name. I want to call them NPDC.
Okay. As they were then.
As they were.
Then it was NPDC.
No, it's NPDC. They have changed the name now.
Oh, okay.
Just like NNPC have changed their name. They were indebted to Federation $4.4 billion. Listen to this. When we invited them, where is this $4.4 billion that is supposed to remit to Federation account? The MD came. He pleaded that they are working with DPRO, not knowing that DPRO have forwarded everything to us. I said, you are owing federal government $4.4 billion. He now told me that they've had an agreement with DPRO to be paid $10 million back every month. My question to him was that, where are you going to be getting the $10 million you are going to be paying back?
Every month.
Every month. And where did the $4.4 billion go? Do you know what he told me? He said, Honorable, you know, you have you have family, you have your mother, your life is more important. When I hit the table, bah, he jumped up. I said, don't threaten me. I said, we've asked DPRO. There's no such agreement. By the way, how can you owe federal government, owe Nigerians?
I can see your cry now that the press needs to be, as supportive as everybody else. Because I was going to say that we never heard of these pressures and these instances
let me tell
when you were in office.
Let me tell you something.
It would have made front-page headlines all over the country.
Let me tell you something.
Why were we not able to hear?
Well, I don't know. But I can tell you, channels, AIT, NTA, I don't know, Yeah, you all did something. TVC did something. No, let me go back. You all did something.
Because this is not the kind of thing that one can forget.
But you all did not, carry it, to where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
You all did something about it.
It wasn't given a center.
It wasn't given,
front and center attention.
Every other station did their best, and
the matter went down like that.
We should not allow this thing to die.
Well,
this investigation must come out and must do its job, and money belonging to Nigeria must be brought back to Nigeria. Do you know what is paining me? I was going through my stuff yesterday. You see, they have always used this cash calls, the JV, joint venture arrangement. They have always used cash call as a conduit pipe to defraud the nation. You see, another one area, they use this PPT. Are you with me? Petroleum Profit Tax. They use that alone as a conduit pipe. You will see where money were transferred to various banks. Share transfer 1.4 billion to Citibank, Standard Chartered. That is US. That's Petroleum Profit Tax. That's 2014. You will see another one. You see Mobi transfer to Bank of America, 2014, $2.6 billion. Now, 2013, they transferred $1.9 billion to Bank of America again. In 2012, they transferred $2.3 billion now to Bank of America, Standard Chartered Bank, New York. This is also petroleum profit tax and escrow account. Chevron, in 2012, they transfer $655 million to Citibank. Now, they also transfer another $2.7 billion to Citibank to the reference Star Deepwater. Transfer was made to the bearer. Now, my question, what is the business between Star Deepwater and Chevron when they were transferring and they were putting reference of Deepwater, Star Deepwater? This is Chevron. 2013, they transferred to Citibank $1.6 billion on petroleum profit tax. That's what they said. 2014, they transfer $250,871,038.08 to Citibank. 2014.
This is all fascinating stuff, and these numbers are mind-boggling.
Listen to me.
These are mind-boggling. Okay.
E&P.
Total.
$200 million, 2012, to Standard Chartered and JP Morgan Chase Bank. Corn Oil, they transfer $94 million, 2012, to Deutsche Bank, PPT, that petroleum profit tax again. Now, 2014, $150 million. It went on and on and on and on.
It really does go on and on. But
now, let me tell you this. There's one. The one that is very. Hold on. I'm sorry. There's one that is very, very interesting. Credit Agricole. They transfer $734,322,027 to Geneva, Swiss bank. There are so many transfers that were done to Switzerland, Vito.
And those are coded accounts.
Vito, I have the account details. I have the date, the time when it was transferred. They are all documented.
The astounding thing is that you said this information that you gathered going back to more than 10 years ago, it is still happening. This thing you're talking about is still happening.
You just heard what the Senate Committee on Public Account did last week.
Yeah.
$210 trillion. 210 trillion naira. 210 trillion naira. So we say we are broke?
No,
Are we broke?
Honorable,
we have a problem. We must take this thing and we must do what is necessary.
You certainly dropped a lot for, if it
there's a lot, but there's enough time to drop
unfortunately.
More. But by the grace of God, the Senate Committee are working day and night to see the light of day. Apart from for the fact that he's the chairman of repatriation and reparation, and he's the chairman of our committee on ECC crude oil theft. We are not talking about the local theft now. This has to do with dollars.
We've got to leave this for now.
Thank you.
But I want to thank you immensely for coming on and, as it were, snapping your fingers that we seem to be dozing. There's a lot that we need to know.
I also want to thank the CDS.
Chief of Defense Staff.
Yeah, I want to thank him because he's doing a lot, but people they don't know that. I want to congratulate him and thank him.
Honorable.
On this issue of fighting the corruption, he's doing a lot.
Honorable E.J. Agbonayema, Federal Commissioner, Code of Conduct Bureau, former member of the House of Representatives, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you, and I want to thank all our viewers.
Indeed.
And may God bless every one of us.
Okay.
This country belongs to all of us.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you very much. Okay. Take a quick break now as I switch over to, in fact, I probably don't need to take a break. I can just okay, I understand we do need to take a break. We switch over to our Abuja studio where another guest is waiting, and that's when we'll be talking about the Benue attack, and security ops now say happily that they've arrested suspects linked to the killings. That's up next.
In tourism. Let us commit again at the Travel Indaba as Africans to build an inclusive, sustainable and resilient sector, one that lifts up our communities, that bridge borders and protects our shared heritage in the continent.
It's a pan-African travel show which brings the world to us, but mostly Africans to actually have B2B meetings or business-to-business meetings with other African SMMEs or tour operators. And the value chain of tourism is highly impacted during this period because we get to sign deals, you get to explore our destinations, besides just having meetings.
Okay, welcome back, and our guest waiting for us is Dr. Stephen Okwori. He's a security consultant and strategist. He's also a fellow of the Nigeria Army Resource Center. He joins us from our Abuja studio. A fine morning to you, Dr. Okwori.
Good morning, Dr. Uncle Yori. I'm glad to be here.
Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, it's happy news, is it not, that, well, the police say that they have actually now apprehended suspects linked to killings, but they are not in a position to, one, tell us how many, two, tell us who these suspects are. But the fact that following the president's marching orders, the police, in very short order, have actually come up with arrests. I remember the president had said when he visited Benue State that why have there not been any arrests? How do you look at this, Dr. Okwori? How do you look at this? The police didn't do anything. Well, I say that, I shouldn't say put it like that, because it's not all police work that is visible. But the police had not done anything visible. The president comes into town, asks a question, and now we're told that we have some suspects in custody. We just can't tell you their names, we can't tell you their numbers. What do you think, sir?
I am not pleased by the arrests. What I mean is that for me, I would have preferred that the incident didn't even happen at all for Benue to have lost well over 200 innocent citizens, women and children. You know, the incident that happened, for me, was avoidable, and it was preventable if we had done the right thing as a country. Now, let me lay this background. I am an advocate of local policing.
Okay.
I have done some research work with regards to security in our rural communities. First of all, I did an article some years ago that has to do with titled "Vigilantism, a Panacea for Effective Community Policing and Enhancing Security in our Rural Communities." And I also did a memorandum to the National Assembly Special Summit Security Committee during the 9th Assembly when Honorable Bajabiamila was Speaker, when they were looking out for solutions to help the government of President Buhari then address the insecurity issues that was confronting Nigeria. And different themes were published, and I went for the titled Local and Community Level Security Solutions. Now, having laid this background, I discovered that our rural communities don't have security presence. And this has been a challenge long before now. We've been approaching security issues from top to bottom. Now, what is required of us is to see how to approach these security issues from bottom to top, because we cannot continue to do the same thing and we expect a different result. Now, I am not expecting a utopian society where everything is supposed to be perfect. Emily Duncan said that a society without crime is impossible. For me, what that means is that since we have gotten this notice that a society without crime is impossible, in such a way that when Nigeria government says that this is the way to go for her citizens, there are some citizens that will choose to go the other way. So what is it that we are supposed to do or put in place as government, as security agencies, to see that the rate of crime is drastically reduced and we shouldn't be seeing escalation? Now, having said that, I want to say that the gap in all the security structures or security agencies that we have, there's a gap that is there, that is lacking. And that gap is that we don't have security presence in our rural communities. When the president was in Benue, when the president returned from Benue to Abuja, what I was expecting from Mr. President was to see how to call the hierarchy of the Nigerian Forest Security Service. Why am I saying this? Because there's a bill before Mr. President asking for his assent, for the establishment of Nigeria Forest Security Service. Nigerian Forest Security Service, I think that as a researcher, because I've done research work in that regard, that can close the gap for the security presence that we are lacking in our rural communities.
This is totally different. This is different from the forest guards that we're talking about now.
Yes. Now, Mr. President, from 1999 to date, Mr. President is one president that I'm convinced that has an idea of the security issues that we have in this country and the way and manner to approach them. Now, for Mr. President to approve the establishment of forest guards is a welcome development, is a way to go. Let me give you this analogy now. Now, it's as if there are two ways we can bear children or have children. One is biological, one is by adoption. Both are children of whoever that wants to have them. Now, when we go by biological means, it means that we have to go through a process, a husband and wife must have to go through a process of conception. Right? And the other way is that you can have or adopt a child. We're talking about a child that hasn't been conceived, or a baby that hasn't been conceived yet. That is the point I am trying to make in regards to approving the establishment of forest guards and comparing it with a child that is already in existence, that has already been given birth to, that has already been at least grown to a certain level. Rather than going for a child or a baby that they are trying to conceive, why not go for a baby or a child that has been already on ground and adopt?
Go for adoption.
Now, the message I'm trying to pass, Yes, the message I'm trying to pass now is that if for Mr. President to approve the establishment of forest guards, why won't he now go for the existence of a already security structure known as Nigerian Forest Security Service that is already on ground for him to adopt? Once he adopts, just the way former President Olusegun Obasanjo adopted the current Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps that we have, right? So rather than waiting for that, there's no time. Right. So instead of waiting for that process to begin and all that, because time is not on our side, go for adoption. Adopt the Nigerian Forest Security Service that the 9th Assembly passed the bill establishing it, and the current Assembly under Senator Godswill Akpabio also passed the bill establishing it. So it's for Mr. President to look at the bill
this idea,
and invite the hierarchy of. Yes.
This idea of yours would be, that would be in addition to the forest guards that the president has already approved.
Yes. Now,
it will be in addition.
The point I'm trying to, it will be in addition, but Mr. President's own is just trying to see how to take off. The one I'm mentioning is already in existence. It's for him to see how to address that, assent to the bill, then whatever he's trying to do, to see how to collapse them as one.
Okay,
right?
tell me something, sir.
The Security Service will have. Okay, sir, go ahead.
Tell me something, Dr. Okwori. You said that yes, you would much prefer to see security operating from bottom up as opposed to top down. So how would this idea, this forestry, this forestry guards situation, how would it facilitate that, the bottom up approach?
Okay. Crime is local. And for us to address crime, we must have to go local.
Okay.
For the police and the military to function efficiently and effectively, they must work with the information or the intelligence that is provided locally, right? For instance, the community in Benin that was attacked some couple of weeks ago, if supposing the intelligence was provided locally, it would have been effective for the soldiers and the police to work with. Because the Nigerian Forest Security personnel or agents or officers would have been on ground to be able to generate or provide such intelligence.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
one of the things that is, one of the issues that is affecting the fight against insecurity in Nigeria is that there is no effective community policing. The people don't have close to them members of the Nigerian security, members of the armed forces or the police for them to have this constant communication or interaction with, right?
Okay.
But if we have such local structure on ground, because members of this local structure, which is the Nigerian Forest Security Service, will come from these very local communities where these people are living, right? So the quick response in the event where the attacks or violent attacks happen, we don't have it. So there's no swift response.
I get what you're saying.
Which is a challenge. There's no swift response. Even when they have such information and they pass, it will take the police or the army like 1 or 2, 3 hours to get there. But if we have this local security structure, which is the Nigerian Forest Security Service, they will be on ground there to be able to address such issues or confront these criminal elements in the event when they come to attack.
Okay.
Right? Because these criminal elements, as they come to these communities, they are aliens to the community, they are noise to the community and all that. So the members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service will have advantage over them.
Okay then. Well, I'm afraid that we've completely run out of time, but this is a wonderful idea that I'm hearing. The Nigerian Forestry Security Service, did you call it? That you
Nigerian Forest Security Service.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that this can be developed, quite effectually. I want to thank you very much. I'm sorry that we don't have more time to delve further into this, but Dr. Stephen Okwori, security consultant and strategist, and a fellow of the Nigerian Army Resource Center, I thank you very much, sir. And I think I really would appreciate if we could do it another date and delve into this a bit more, especially your ideas about the bottom-up approach to security being more effectual than what you say we have right now. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, then. Okay, so that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folare. Bye-bye for now.